In Japan, kanji isn't just a writing system, it's a map of the past. It is said that some kanji in place names are actually secret codes left by our ancestors to warn us about natural disasters. While municipal hazard maps are the standard way to check for risks, place names can also reveal hidden dangers. Just as surnames have origins, every piece of land has its own story and meaning. Place names originate from various factors: topography, direction, faith, people, or historical events. Many are deeply connected to natural elements. For example, names containing kanji related to water suggest that the area is or once was rich in water, like a pond, marsh, or a river. This often indicates soft ground or a higher risk of flooding. If a name uses the Sanzui radical or other water related to characters, that land likely has a deep history with water. Even if a river isn't visible today, the ground may still be unstable. Sometimes these clues aren't direct. They can be hidden in the sounds of the name or in the kanji for plants and animals that live by the water. Areas where rivers meet or low-lying wetlands have a higher risk of flooding. There are specific kanji used for these types of terrain. Kawa, ike, numa, sawa, nami, nagare, mizo, su, se, izumi. In places where rivers meander or have a history of embankment failures, you might find these kanji. E, inlet. This refers to winding river or terrain carved out by water. It suggests a powerful flow that shapes the land. Fukuro, literally meaning bag or pouch. It represents a bag-shaped terrain surrounded by water. These areas are particularly prone to deep flooding if a levee breaks, as the water gets trapped inside the bag. Fukai. Ryu, meaning dragon. In Japanese mythology, the dragon is a water deity. When a dragon raises, it represents violent storms, torrential rain, or tsunamis that once struck the area. Tsuru, meaning crane. This often refers to land shaped like a crane's long curved neck. It marks a spot where a river bends sharply, a prime location for flooding when water levels rise. Kuma, meaning nook or bear. It is often derived from the word kuma, meaning a bend or a corner. Like the crane's neck, these names indicate a sharp curve in the river or terrain, signaling a high risk of water overflow. Sometimes the sound of a word is more important than the kanji itself. Reclaimed land often uses kanji like ume, plum, uma, horse. This is because the sound ume or uma is a play on the Japanese word umeru, which means to fill in or reclaim. Since these areas were once rivers, marshes, or coastal wetlands before being filled in, the ground tends to be very soft and unstable. This makes them more susceptible to sinking or liquefaction during an earthquake. A typical example is Umeda in Osaka. Characters for valley or cliff often mark steep terrain where heavy rain can trigger landslides. Some kanji even hint at disasters that happened long ago through the sound of the words. Using the kanji tani or ya, meaning valley, even the famous Shibuya station sits in a low basin where rivers now flow beneath the pavement, making the ground inherently soft. Kura, storehouse. It often refers to sheer rock faces or crumbling cliffs in the mountains. Hashi, koma, on. In place names, this often comes from a combination of the words koro, to roll or turn, and ma, space. It describes land that is surrounded by a looping circular river, like a rolling curve. These areas are extremely vulnerable to flooding when the river overflows. Kubo. This indicates a hollow or a low-lying depression in the landscape. Because these areas sit lower than the surrounding land, the soil is often naturally soft and prone to water accumulation. This makes them particularly vulnerable to flooding during heavy rain. Place names containing the character kubo include Ogikubo, Okubo, and Koigakubo. Taki, waterfall. It's derived from tagiru, to churn. It marks cliffs eroded by violent soaring currents. Hebi, or ja in on reading, meaning snake. This is derived from jakuzure, meaning loosened slopes or the verge of collapsing, or januke, meaning a massive mudslide or debris flow. Sakura, cherry blossom. It connects to the word sakeru, to split or tear. In mountains, it warns of slopes prone to splitting open during heavy rain. Yanagi, kaki, persimmon. It comes from kaku, to chip or break off. It indicates brittle cliffs or areas vulnerable to levee failures and tsunamis. Tsubaki. Why is the name of a beautiful flower? In place names, it often serves as a warning for eroded cliffs or collapsed terrain. The word tsubaki is thought to be a corruption of tsubakeru, an ancient term meaning uneven or collapsing. It marks land that has been broken or washed away by nature. Hagi, bush clover. From hagu, to strip or peel off, hinting at the history of topsoil sliding down the slope. Even the word ushi, cattle, can carry a hidden warning. In ancient Japanese, the word ushi was linked to the word ushi, meaning sorrowful, unpleasant, or troublesome. This name was often given to unstable land, such as areas prone to collapses or frequent flooding. It reflects the misery or hardship that the people living there faced due to the unpredictable nature of the soil. Saru, monkey. This sound is believed to be derived from saru, to leave or fall away, or sarasu, to expose. It marks cliff-like terrain that has been exposed to the elements for a long time, making the soil loose and highly prone to collapsing. Others are kani, kusa, mori. Characters pronounced as kuru, kure, or kuro, such as kure or kuro, often signal land prone to collapse. This is because these sounds are believed to be derived from the verb kuru or eguru, which means to gouge out or to scoop out. These names mark areas where the earth has been violently carved away by erosion or previous landslides, leaving behind unstable hollows or steep, broken terrain. Landslide terrain refers to land formed by previous landslides or loosened ground. These areas remain unstable and carry a high risk of transforming into a debris flow during heavy rain, as the soil gradually gives away. The following are common kanji used in relation to landslide terrain. Kuzureru, tareru, katamuku, hazama. Liquefaction is a phenomenon where solid ground turns into a liquid-like state due to earthquake shaking. When this happens, heavy structures like buildings can sink or tilt, while lighter objects, such as manholes, may actually float to the surface. The following characters are commonly used in place names associated with liquefaction. Ta, rice field. It refers to land reclaimed from what was once farmland. Midori, green. It may denote reclaimed land or developed land. It is sometimes seen in the names of newly built residential areas. Ayu, sweet fish. It may indicate land with weak ground, derived from ayuku, to sway. In flat areas, this refers to land prone to earthquake damage. Tsunamis and storm surges are disasters that are particularly likely to occur in low-lying areas near the coast. In such areas, or in places that have suffered tsunami or storm surge damage in the past, the following kanji characters may be used. E, ura, shio. The characters kama denote curved land. There are areas that have suffered erosion or collapse due to tsunamis or floods. They are also places where water tends to pool. Tsu, hama. The word onna is derived from ona, meaning wild waves, and may be used in areas affected by tsunamis. Lastly, it is worth noting that some place names have been changed in recent years. In large-scale residential developments built since the post-war period of rapid economic growth, place names have sometimes been changed from their original forms to names such as blah 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 gaoka, something dai, blah blah no, or blah blah new town.